It's like people spend 10, 20 seconds on a video, not more than that. Even if it is 1 minute, 2 minutes, they see it, they like it, they scroll. They see, they like it, they scroll. I think that people have made up this picture of independent artists as like living in a dream world and pursuing what they want. But I can tell you that it is very difficult.
That, when you're not feeling a certain emotion, how do you bring it up if, the context calls for it? Hi, everybody. So today we are with Rahul Sherekar, who's a voice artist, a singer, a songwriter who has garnered over 40 million views across social media. And his covers, as well as his originals, have drawn interactions from singers like Arman Malik and Hari Haran. So we are incredibly grateful for his presence today. He is known for his authenticity and the rawness that he brings into the field of music, which is much needed these days. So, yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, thank you for doing this, Rahul. Wanted to start off by asking that where do your songs usually begin? With an emotion, a memory, or a story?
It's actually a mix of emotions as well as a memory. So actually अपने human beings की memory जो होती है it's not मतलब उसको काफी romanticize करना पड़ता है to convert it into a song. So I just remember a few incidents in my life अगर ऐसा कुछ हुआ हो and that is normal but then I try to romanticize it and उसको जितना मैं musically beautiful बनाने की कोशिश कर सकता हूँ either it's a positive memory or a negative memory. I do that. If I'm listening to a particular song then I take a reference from that song and if I'm listening to, for example, I was listening to a few retro English style songs recently, and so वो मैं loop पे सुनते रहता हूँ and then I try to recreate it in my own way and not actually recreate but उस style का कुछ गाना तो I'm creating एक synthwave style का but हिंदी song. Basically वही है कि references और emotions का और memories का एक mix होता है and then after that once एक song का idea आ जाता है then after that उसका story बना के then I generally complete the song.
That's interesting, actually, listening to other songs to get you into that state of mind, because that was going to be my next question. That, when you're not feeling a certain emotion, how do you bring it up if, the context calls for it?
That point is actually quite easy for me recently because I'm also a voice actor by profession. I think 6 or 7 months out of the year, I have daily projects where I freelance as a voice actor. And उसमें क्या होता है कि usually there are long scripts कि 10 घंटे का 50 घंटे का 100 घंटे का काम होता है. So you cannot prepare for it. So what I have done is जो projects मुझे मिलते हैं तो I have the script and for example if there is a script एक लंबा script है उसमें there are paragraphs और उसमें ब्रैकेट में लिखा होता है इस इमोशन में ये लाइन परफॉर्म करना है देन यू हैव टू स्टॉप देन यू हैव टू स्टटर योर वॉइस देन आपको घबराना है देन आपको रोना है so because of that practice getting into an emotion is I mean like that for me I can cry like that I can smile like that I can get angry like that so that has actually helped a lot in me recording my songs also the emotion that I put in my songs has in turn helped me in my voice acting as well.
Okay, so getting into it, like you said, has been easy. What about snapping out of it? And after you listen to a particular song or your work, do you realize or do you discover some emotion that you did not know was kind of lying beneath?
I cry a lot whenever I am creating a song and it turns out more beautiful than expected, or if there's a memory that has been hidden in me somewhere, and I thought that I'd moved on from that particular memory, not necessarily a romantic memory, but in general any memory. But when I'm thinking of that while listening to something that I've done or while creating something that I'm doing, I think if it hits me in the right way, then I think that I'm doing good work or that I've created something good. And that generally happens while I'm creating. So as you know, there are various elements in a song. There are vocals, there's music. Then any element that reminds me of something, I think I just get tears in my eyes and I know that that's going to be a good song.
Right. So you have that indicator when you that sort of memory flashes before you. But since we've spoken of memories, do you think stories should be more inclined towards authenticity, or more towards giving audiences hope regardless of how it actually ended?
I think that while creating song, I just have to be honest with myself and I have to uh, pour out what I've been thinking and what I have been feeling. And once that is done, then I think that it's up to the people to perceive what they want to from it. For example, if there's a neutral piece of writing that I've done, then people can perceive it in a positive way, or according to what they think and how they think, or if they can perceive it in a negative way. But I have put it out, put what I feel out in the song. It's just a blank piece of paper on which I've done something, and then it's up to the people to perceive what they want to do.
Since you brought up people's perception, and your own self perception, when you listen to a song or your work after it is, completed, do you face some sort of imposter syndrome or, conduct a sort of post mortem on your work, or it's done and dusted? Once it's done, it's done?
It started recently, like in the past 1 year, and it's not just my songs, but I think any song that I listen to now, I just break it down into pieces and I listen to every particular element. It's high, it's EQ, or it's compressor, or it's reverb. I mean, small things like that, or it's writing, or the different elements that we use in it, or something that I've not heard before. That kind of takes the fun out of some of the songs that I listen to, but sometimes it also enhances the experience, because then I kind of process how much effort the artist might have put into a particular song when I listen to it in that way.
So, since you brought up other songs, I wanted to know, because you've done a lot of cover songs as well. So, when
Mhm.
you do these, comparisons are almost inevitable. So, how do you deal with that?
I think that there are enough people in the world to listen to all the artists that are there. Because of basically because of these short format reels, etc. It's like people spend 10-20 seconds on a video, not more than that. Even if it is 1 minute, 2 minutes, they see it, they like it, they scroll. They see it, they like it, they scroll. So if they like it, they will see it irrespective of who has sung it, who the original artist was. I mean, yeah. So basically, when I'm putting something out, it's for the people who might feel good after listening to that. So I think that people can like it. Some people might dislike it, but that is fine.
So, you're able to maintain that sort of equilibrium, or that, to an extent, indifference, but in a good way towards people's opinions.
Right. So if my work is good, then people will listen to it. If someone else has done a better job at that, then even I will listen to that guy. And I don't think that competition in artists is a good thing, and I don't think it's not even necessary.
So, since you brought about the industry dynamics and competition and stuff, also from the angle of you being an independent artist, it's kind of like you have that creative freedom as an independent artist, but you also have to place a bet on yourself. So, how do you manage that risk and that uncertainty?
I think that people have made up this picture of independent artists as like living in a dream world and
Yeah.
pursuing what they want. But I can tell you that it is very difficult because there's no fixed money. I mean, I do voice acting on the side, and I have a way to earn money and also invest in my music and also spend a lot of time on it. So I have been lucky in that way. But it is not easy to be an independent artist because you don't know what to do actually, because it's nothing, and you're just creating vibrations in the air and expecting other people to cry or laugh or fall in love based on what sounds you're creating. The song being good is just around, I think, 5% of the song. This 5% of the work that is required for the song to actually reach people. I think that having good people around you is really, really important. I am very lucky to have a management team. Rishabh is my manager and his team. I am very choosy about who I keep, which people I keep around me, because just a single sentence can like pull you down and discourage you from something that could have been good. Should also mention Ardas, who is a composer and lyricist with whom I make most of my songs. I have drastically improved because of working with him. I think that's it. You just have to have good people around you who believe in the same idea as you and who help you grow. And one of the main indicators, I think, that as an independent artist you have to see is that the work that you've done 6 months ago or 1 year ago should feel less good to you than what you're doing now. So if the version of me 1 year ahead is better than me, then of course I'm growing. So I think good people and growth, those are the two things that are really important.
So I am going to hold on to that thought, because I do have a question about goalposts as well. But in the
Mhm.
meanwhile, just to shift gears, since you mentioned that you also do voice acting on the side, and since
Mhm.
this is a mental health podcast, I wanted to also understand the influence of emotions on our voice. So sometimes when we have panic attacks or anxiety attacks, it's incredibly common to feel this lump in our throat. You know,
Mhm.
So how do you deal with it when emotions themselves affect your voice in a way that you don't desire?
As I told you, that crying is a big part of how I put an effort into songs or voice acting or how I listen to it. I think that the lump in the throat that you mentioned while recording a particular song, be it romantic or a sad song, a little sad emotion for me has been good for my voice while expressing something romantic, because that brings a certain warm effect to the song which in the end sounds good in a particular song. For example, I released a song called Code a few months back, I think in February. It was again made by Ardas and me. So when I sat to record the song, I just imagine myself in the position of the guy who was supposedly in the song. As you said, a lump in the throat. So there was a lump in my throat, and I just ran to my studio, closed the doors, and I started recording. And when I started recording the song, there was some crack in the first word of the song because I could not, put my voice out perfectly. But I kept that take because that was the emotion that was required for that particular song. So I think that's what I do. And particularly for voice acting, it does affect me because if 4 or 5 hours throughout the day I have to record a sad emotion, or if a very sad, the scripts are like there's some really sad moment in someone's life, someone might have passed away, or uh, things like that. So that really affects me, and I have observed that when I come out of the studio, there's a lingering emotion with me that I feel throughout. Throughout the remainder of the day. What I do is I just sit with my loved ones, or meet with my friends, or just go out and breathe fresh air, go to a new area, and I think that's all you can do to kind of get out from that emotion. People are really important, and you have to change your environment so that you might get a fresh perspective, or you might feel a little better.
I think a recurring theme has been, changing your environment and community as well. As you mentioned, in the context of being an independent artist, building that sort of community around you. And even now, when you have to sort of snap out or kind of change the channel, so changing your environment as well. So external factors, they do matter to an extent, even though we keep, emphasizing that happiness is an inside job. But it's very important to remember that, there are certain things that can be adjusted, and they should be adjusted. So, what are your thoughts about that?
That's really correct. And one more thing is that people around you, the ones you your community basically, you should also be told no on certain things. So it's not just that people are supporting you and they are validating your emotions, but they should also tell you what they feel is right. And if they feel that clearly I'm thinking something wrong, be it emotionally or in my work, then they should be able to clearly express what they're feeling in front of me without getting offended, or even without me getting offended. And that is how I think you get a constructively positive outcome from the community you have around you. I think, yes, I think that's one thing that I wanted to add.
Important point. True. So, as I'd mentioned, I was kind of holding on to the idea of a goalpost because I did have a question about that. So, we often have this feeling that, I will be happy when, and that keeps moving. The goalpost keeps moving. So, while you mentioned that, your goal is for this year's song to be better than last year's song, but doesn't that get stressful until a point where it's like, I'm not enough? Does it still motivate you to create more? For example, are you still celebrating Ardas and your code, or are you like working on your next project already?
I think that it's both of them. You can find some mistakes in your previous work, but also appreciate it. If it's really good, and if you're feeling that it is good even after a long time, then definitely you have done great work in that particular project. If you still think, in spite of it being great, you can still improve. And अरे यार ये तो ये तो मुझे ऐसे लगा था, बट ये तो अभी easily मुझे समझ रहा है कि ये तो मैंने ऐसे ही करना चाहिए था. Definitely it would have been better. So I think that is one thing. And also I think कि while working, I can see that I'm making progress. So instead of getting stressed about it, I am happy that I can do this now. I can change this now. I can do this easily. I understand this better now. This is the perspective that has helped me till now in my journey.
I think that's interesting because while we are appreciating what we are as of now, or we can look back at ourselves as if we are a mentor. I think that's sort of, if I've summarized what
Right.
you said
Right. Right. So
correctly.
future me is my mentor, is what I think, and that is how I guide myself going forward.
Kind of reminds me of Interstellar, where he says, these are the future versions of us who are kind of guiding us.
Right.
So, yeah,
Exactly like that.
yeah. And what about your next projects, Rahul?
So there's a song that I recently released. It is called Aisi Sham. I think a scratch for that song was created around 1 or 2 years ago, but we finally found the correct means to release the song. It's currently doing well on platforms. It has started to pick up. I think it has a fresh, happy energy to the song. So I think anyone who might be in a negative mood or who might want to be a little happier can go and listen to the song because we've made it with love and we've made it with hope. The main line of the song is "Aisi Sham Aaye Kabhi," so it is like an evening like that. I hope that an evening like that comes. I think the song is about hope and happiness, and I think that it will make the listeners happy after listening to it.
That's lovely. We shall link it. And I think that line, Aisi Sham Aaye Kabhi, does poetic justice to the fact that it was released after a year or so. Everything I think
Yes.
happens at the right time when the world really needs it. And we do need a lot of hope right now. So thank you for sharing that piece. So this has been incredibly insightful. To wrap up, do you have any message for budding artists and musicians?
I just think that you just need to keep working on what you believe is good, work on your art, keep improving, and keep good people around you. Don't compare yourself to others. You can take inspiration from others, but you have to grow. You have to grow on your own. I think that is everything that an independent artist needs.
Thanks a lot for this inspiring message. And I hope to see you folks again soon. All
Okay.
right. Yeah. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much,
Thank you
Hema.
so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.